My ex got paid to date me by my own best friend. Wait until you hear the update on this story. I, 27 female, just found out something that feels like it was ripped straight from a scripted show. Except it's not. It's my real life, and I wish it wasn't. So I was dating this guy, 28 male, let's call him Jake, for about 6 months. And it was actually going well, like really well. He was sweet, funny, asked me questions about my day, remembered the little things I liked, and I thought I hit the jackpot after a string of heartbreaks and walking red flags. I introduced him to my family. He came to brunches. We cuddled on my couch and talked about dreams and childhood and music. He even came to my niece's birthday party. Like, real boyfriend stuff. And now I found out he was getting paid to date me. Let me repeat that. My boyfriend was getting paid to date me. And guess who was paying him? Was it your best friend?
How'd you know?
I'm so psychic. Not a prank show, not a scam, not a bet with the boys. My best friend. My literal best friend since high school. We'll call her M. Apparently, after my last breakup hit me hard, which yeah, it did, she decided I need to feel loved again. So instead of being supportive or taking me on a girls trip like a normal person, she decided to hire a boyfriend for me. Oh Lord. In what twisted way did she think that this was a good idea? How would this turn out well? Is she gonna pay you all the way to marriage? Like at one point, he's still gonna break up with you because he's being paid to date you. In some weird way, she probably thought she was helping, but like this isn't helping. This doesn't help anyone. In fact, it would make you have even worse trust issues. She knew Jake from some party and offered him actual money to quote, cheer me up and make me feel special again. Only to like what, rip it out from underneath you again? After you find out that not only is your boyfriend being paid to date you, but also that your friend paid him to date you. The worst part is he said yes. For the right price, apparently pretending to care about someone becomes easy. A mutual friend let it slip after too many drinks. So wait, I'm sorry, but people knew about this? Your mutual friends knew about this?
Bad friend, bad friend, bad friend.
And when I confronted M, she didn't even deny it. She tried to twist it into some weird act of love.
You looked so happy. I just wanted you to feel confident again.
Confident? You thought faking a relationship behind my back would help my self-esteem. And Jake? He tried to act like he caught feelings.
At first it was just for the money, but then I really started to like you.
This sounds like the plot of like She's All That or something.
I'll pick the girl, and you got 6 weeks to turn her into the prom queen. Gentlemen, we have a winner.
Like, I'm sorry, that makes it better. You still lied. You still cashed out every week like it was a gig. Meanwhile, I was falling for someone who never existed. We were intimate. We had real talks, and now every moment feels dirty and fake. I don't even know what was real. Did he even like my laugh? Was he ever actually listening to me? I feel humiliated, betrayed, like a complete idiot. And the person who was supposed to have my back, my best friend, was the one pulling the strings the whole time. To anyone reading this, if you ever think about doing something for someone's own good like this, don't. It's not thoughtful, it's not romantic, it's twisted. And if Charlotte does see this, please know you've helped me feel less alone. I hope my story helps someone else feel seen too. Oh, I appreciate that, and I'm sure it will. Thanks for reading. I'm gonna go scream into a pillow now, as you should. This is ridiculous. And I'm pretty sure in the movie She's All That, like she found out that it was like a bet, but she forgave him. I never really sat well with that. First of all, don't feel guilty about having believed in this because nobody could have ever imagined what you just wrote. Like seriously, this is unbelievable. Who in their right mind pays someone to date their friend? A real friend might have seen this guy and been like, hey, I really like you for my friend. Are you interested in dating someone right now? Like maybe we could set you guys up. That's normal. I set up my friends all the time. We actually did set up one of my really good friends with one of Mike's really good friends and they got married. So I like playing the matchmaker. And sometimes it works out, but we don't pay our friends to date our friends. We just introduce them. I was introduced to Mike through a friend who was dating his brother. I feel like that's like a normal way for a couple to meet. In fact, I feel like it's a better way for a couple to meet than anything else because like you're kind of vetting the person and you're kind of deciding whether or not they're right for your friend. It's kind of difficult to know whether someone has good intentions or whether they're a good person if you're just like meeting them for the first time. But if, you know, they've been through the checks and balances with people that mutually know you, it's good. It's a good way to meet someone. And it ended up working out well for me and well for my good friend who ended up marrying Mike's good friend. Also, M cut her off entirely. I may believe someone is delulu enough to think this was a good or helpful idea, but the fact that she actually told someone else, period, is a huge red flag. I'm just like picturing that conversation. Oh my God, they seem so happy. They seem so perfect for each other. Oh yeah, no, like I'm paying him to date her. Like how does that even come up in conversation with someone? And then everybody else probably knows about it too, and you're the only one that doesn't know. Like that's so gross. Why on earth would she tell your friend about this? Perhaps your other friend kept it to himself so he didn't hurt you, but this girl, useless at best and a biatch at worst. And about your long string of heartbreaks and red flags, many of us are on the same boat. Yes, I agree. That is very, very true. I just sort of feel like every person I've dated up until Mike was a walking red flag and broke my heart. It's just the way it is until you find your person, you know? You're lucky if you end up in a relationship where you're still friends after you break up. Most relationships that aren't meant to work out do end badly. It's not you. You just haven't met the right person yet. Let yourself be unhealthy, self-indulgent for a week or two, then pick yourself up, get to work, and become hotter than ever. Oh, I love this. You know what this is an excuse to do? Level up.
Scudder and the power of self-respect.
You don't even want to be with someone unless they love you more than you love yourself. That's when I truly feel like you are ready for a relationship. That was the turning point for me. Like either you treat me with respect or I don't even want to be in the same room as you. Like I'm not interested. I love being alone. I really do. I loved it. I loved being single and alone and never having to worry about someone else. And I wasn't willing to date someone until I met someone who added something to my life and made it better than what it was before. Stay strong and stay petty. Very good advice, and I agree with them. All right, so now we're gonna get to the update. My ex went to jail. Oh. So remember when I posted about how my ex-boyfriend was getting paid by my best friend to date me? Buckle up because this just took a hard left into this can't be real life territory. Jake, the ex who pretended to love me for money, is now in jail. Like actual jail. Orange jumpsuit, mugshot, I could not make this up if I tried. Here's how it went down. A couple of days after everything blew up, I was still deep in my heartbreak and don't trust anyone era when a mutual friend, bless her nosy heart, sent me a link to a local police blotter report. And there it was, Jake's name, his face under the headline, local man arrested for fraud and identity theft. Like not in relation to you? Like he was doing this to someone else? Apparently, Jake didn't just fake a relationship. He's been living a double life. The man had multiple aliases, fake accounts, and get this, was scamming women online for money. I'm sorry, and this is someone that your friend thought would be good to date you? And I'm not talking about basic catfishing. He was posing as different guys, building relationships with women, and then asking them for help with rent, cars, sick family members, etc. Classic scammer behavior. I mean, I didn't want to say it. It takes a special kind of person to accept money to date someone. Like your friend is trash for offering this, but he's trash for accepting it. Turns out he used my relationship as a cover. While dating me and pretending to be some dream boyfriend, thanks to the money my bestie was slipping him, he was running all these other side scams behind the scenes. And get this, when the police searched his stuff, they found screenshots and notes about me. Like a literal script, talking points. Ask about her dad here. Bring up her favorite coffee order. Oh, no wonder he knew exactly how to treat you. He was getting fed the lines. It's like I was a freaking role he was playing. The worst part, M still tried to defend him. She messaged me saying, "This isn't the guy I knew. He must have changed." Girl, he didn't change. You just didn't know him. Or worse, you just didn't care. So yeah, Jake is in jail. There's an ongoing investigation and apparently more women are coming forward. I've already been contacted by someone who thinks they were also being played by him while we were together. I'm honestly numb at this point. I understand that this story would make you feel like you can't trust anybody and like you're valid for feeling that way. And quite frankly, you should walk around assuming that potential relationships have to earn you. They have to earn your trust. Do not automatically trust anyone. I'm doing better now. I cut off M, blocked everyone who tried to gaslight me about it, and I'm currently in my wine and self-respect era. Period, queen. To anyone who's going through something similar, trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. And if your friend is saying they're helping you in weird ways, ask questions. Anyways, thanks for the support on the first post. You guys made me feel way less alone. If anything else wild happens, I'll probably be back. So here's an interesting addition, more info that OP responded to. Just out of curiosity, how much was your friend paying him? Was it by the hour? I'm sorry this happened to you. I'm glad you're safe and away from this pair. OP responds, that's a good question. So she said to me $300 a week and then went to go on how he would get a bonus if he made me smile. I posted a pic on Insta, etc., which is wild to me. Oh my goodness, this is so twisted. Ew. Ew. How does she have all that money? Is she independently wealthy? Or is she too dumb to realize he was scamming her also? That is a very good question. Who has that kind of money to like burn? So you were dating him for 6 months.
Carry the one.
That's a lot of money. As I said, you probably feel like you can't trust anyone right now, but I can confidently tell you that most friends are not like this. Like, this is not normal. You just happen to be in a very crappy situation. You aren't the first person to be betrayed by a best friend, I will tell you that. But don't let it taint your ideas of friendship. There are real, genuine friendships out there, and I have every faith that you'll find one. Especially now that your standards are much higher. Am I the a-hole for cutting off all contact to my best friend and suing her?
Oh, please.
I, 34 female, and my best friend, 34 female, let's call her Carrie, have known each other since we met at college when we were 16 in 2007. I'll give you a small bit of backstory. Over the years, I've had a really good job which paid well and a very supportive family who are not loaded but live well. My parents always taught us to work hard and save. I was a bit of a pushover and a people pleaser. I don't like conflict or issues. I was a doormat for lack of a better word. Can relate. Carrie always refused to work more than a few hours a week, claimed benefits, and her family were a lot worse off, so money was always limited for her. I paid for everything from her clothes, to meals out, to days and nights out. Holidays, you name it. I covered it without hesitation or overthinking it. I feel like when it's this kind of dynamic in a friendship, it's just ripe for people taking advantage. It's one thing if you spot a friend every now and then, if you're a generous person, if you like to give gifts and stuff like that. But at this point, she's just treating you like a bank account.
Money, please! My money.
She's a princess. I remember once her dad lost his job and had to move in with the family 2 hours away. Rather than see it for what it was, just a horrible situation, she lost her crap. Called her dad selfish and how angry she was. I was 16, but even I got that he had to support the family and it wasn't his fault. It was a horrible situation, but according to her, it was a conspiracy. We lost contact for a few years when I dated a guy she went to school with. Turns out she liked him, but he dated me and another friend of hers, stating he found her annoying and hard to deal with.
Interesting.
She hated the fact that I was with him, so I stopped all contact, but she never told me this until much later on, and she introduced us.
Then what are you mad about?
Eventually, we broke up, but there were no issues and no reason to biatch. Then she instantly got back in contact, but got annoyed when I wouldn't or moan about him.
So what are you trying to do?
She kept saying things like,
It will take me a while to trust you again, but we will get there over time.
and that turned into,
It took me years to trust you again.
trust you. She introduced you. I never thought much of it, but I look back now and think, trust me over what? You ended the friendship, but I let it go as I don't like conflict and she can be nasty. At the time of reconnecting, she was pregnant, not married. This is relevant. Her boyfriend was an absolute a-hole, and he was not a nice person. I continued to help them out financially and always paid for meals, spoiled her kids, etc. She is a very, very controlling person. Even though I'm not a fan of her partner, I feel sorry for him. He's not allowed to ride his motorbike unless she says so. He does absolutely everything, from working 60 hours a week to cleaning the house and cooking, while she stays home and literally does nothing. She's a princess. Still, I continue to help with money and give expensive gifts, but I noticed that she would exclude me from things. She would do things like go out for meals, cinema, the zoo, etc. with our friends who were moms and not include me, saying, well, you're not a mom and you would be bored. Half the time she didn't take her kids. It did make me feel left out and hurt, but again, I let it go. Okay, so she's literally treating you like a bank account and also not treating you like a friend at the same time. Just paying for all this stuff, I just feel like it does more harm than good. You want to get to a position where you want to help the people around you, but I feel like it ends up making people resent you because they realize that without you, they wouldn't have much.
She'll be my sugar mama.
As time went on, I started dating my now husband, who I knew from childhood. He also has a well-paid job. He owns his own photography business, so he does okay. Eventually, we had our beautiful baby twins. Carrie was for some reason annoyed when I had my daughter. She calls them the quote, children, even though they were born in wedlock. Carrie didn't attend my wedding. She told me she was in the hospital. Oh. I learned the next day she actually went to the fun fair and didn't come to my wedding.
Some friend you are.
My partner is not a fan of Carrie. He saw her for what she was very quickly and said he didn't mind the gifts, but that he felt she was just using me. I mean, yeah, like after a while, it's like you're basically paying this person to be your friend, but she isn't even being your friend. He didn't like the way she spoke to me, etc. I wasn't sure. It's a girl I knew since we were young and I wanted to see the best in her. Around 2019, Carrie began to plan her wedding and she asked me to be a bridesmaid. I said yes.
Big mistake. Big. Huge.
I helped her plan. One day, she handed me a list. The list had things from makeup to hair, limos, decorator bills, 14 bridesmaids' dresses, shoes, and accessories. It had a fair bit on it. Oh my god, wait, no, did she want you to pay for that?
Money, please. Money, please.
Did she just give you an invoice? It had a fair bit on it and it was pricey. I was confused. I spoke to another bridesmaid wondering what it was about and she told me that Carrie said I was paying for all these bills so she could have her dream wedding and how I could afford it, and to me, money was nothing. She literally just sent you an invoice. The fact that she didn't even ask you and just assumed, see, this is what I'm saying, is that like she became complacent. You're her personal piggy bank. I was shocked. I had previously said I would give her 100 quid and do her photos as a wedding gift, and it was up to her what she did with this. I immediately spoke to Carrie and told her straight up I was not paying this £6,000 bill. My own wedding never came close to this, and due to buying a house and investments into my husband's business, I couldn't do it. I mean, regardless, even if you had the money and you weren't having all of these expenses, that is a really ridiculous thing to ask. Like, no, I'm not paying for your wedding. Well, she just cut all contact off with me. I figured she was having a sulk, left it at that. No, because once she realized that the one reason she was friends with you was not there anymore, she doesn't really see the point in being your friend, babe. About a week later, I get a message from her partner. Now, he's genuinely an a-hole, but tends to not get involved until he's had enough of her bully and nasty behavior. So he clearly reached his limit. But instead of telling her to shut the F up, he exploded at me. He basically said, Carrie loved you, treated you like a sister for years, has allowed you to do things with her. Allowed you to do things with her?
I've allowed you to buy me things and be around me. The audacity of you not wanting to pay for my wedding.
And this is how you treat her, by refusing to help her out in her time of need. She didn't even ask you. She literally sent you an invoice and assumed that you would pay for it. I told her partner I wasn't willing to argue about it and that I was happy to attend the wedding, and I didn't see why I needed to fund it, and how if they can't afford things, they can't have them. Long story short, I got told by both of them that I was not welcome at the wedding. I respected this, and I was at the time willing to send them a wedding gift. I don't even know why you bother, honestly. This is so entitled. About a week before, I got 2 phone calls from one of the flower shops and the other from the limo company asking for the payments. And how I had still been put down to pay. Wow. So she still put you down on the bill and expected you to pay, even though you're like literally not even friends anymore and you're not going to the wedding. I told them via email and phone, it's not gonna happen. I forwarded the emails to her as well, so she knew, as I hoped it was a mistake. It wasn't. I got a lot of grief, a lot of the bridal party saying I was selfish and how I was ruining her day. Like, are they just not fully aware of the situation? I'm so confused as to how you're the selfish one here. At no point did you agree to it for her to be like,
Oh, you're taking it away from me.
you literally weren't even asked. At this point, I wrote a message to Carrie, explaining how I was saddened that she allowed money to end a friendship. And now I saw that she never cared about me, but the money. And how I was even more hurt that rather than talk to me herself, she got other people to try to bully me, which in the past, if I'm being honest, I would have given in on. But my partner helped me grow a backbone and told me to stand up for myself more. This was the point I saw I was really just a piggy bank. I was again told I was not welcome at the wedding and neither was my family. At this point, I withdrew my offer of the photos and the wedding gift. I mean, I can't do photos if we're not welcome, can we? I should also add that when this started, she had 15 bridesmaids. By the time she got married, only 3 remained. That says a lot. Let me guess, maybe she tried to get her other bridesmaids to pick up the bill. She bullied and pushed everyone away. I mean, that's definitely satisfying. Like, I'm sad that, you know, like friendships ended, but at the same time, it must be vindicating to know that you weren't the only one.
There are dozens of us. Dozens!
Okay, so we get to the wedding day. I passed on a message via a friend for a good day and best wishes. My friend said she would judge the mood before she gave the message. My friend then called me and she said, Carrie is livid that you and your partner are not here. You agreed to do the photos and she's jumping mad you're not here. She told you not to be. What part of you're not welcome at the wedding did she still think that you were gonna show up and do the photos?
Yep, that's exactly what happened.
I reminded by her that I was told that her and her partner and my children were not invited. What's more is Carrie, the bridal party and groom's party had no flowers or transport as they thought I would eventually pay, even though I told them both I wasn't. Both companies said payment had not been given, so services were canceled. Turns out they ended up getting taxis, which they also tried to bill me for. As it was my fault, and they had no limos, so I needed to pay up. What is wrong with this group of people? What kind of person expects anyone else to pay for their wedding? Not going to lie, I felt bad.
Why? Why?
It's her wedding day, she deserved to be happy. But at the same time, I was annoyed, and I'm getting all this abuse when it's not my job to fund her life. I turned my phone off and let it go for the day. A few days later, I contacted her and tried to talk it out. Why?
Stop it. Get some help.
She's being absolutely cray-cray. She still refused, and her husband messaged me saying I ruined their day. No, they ruined their own day. How all their pictures were ruined and how he looked like he had been punched in the gut in his photos. He looked miserable as sin. And how if I offer a gift, I shouldn't backtrack. But you were told not to be there. I reminded him that he was the one who told me to keep me and my family away. He then went,
I clearly didn't mean the photos.
I mean, he really should have thought of that before he talked to you like that.
We now only have phone-taking ones.
Yes, consequences of your actions. They should have thought of that before they uninvited you from the wedding for not paying for it. They also sought legal advice to try and sue me for emotional stress and damages. It immediately got shut down as they were told the messages were bullying and harassment. At this point, my partner, who I asked not to get involved, got involved. He's Scottish, and they generally just say it is what it is and don't care. So he let it rip and told them that for years they have financially abused me, that I'm still waiting on the $5,000 loan I gave them, and how he was not happy that anyone treated me like this. Okay, so you sued her for the $5,000 loan, I'm guessing. 5,000 pounds. So that's like 10 grand. Well, then ended all contact. It was for the best. We also at the time agreed to just let the money go. In our eyes, it wasn't worth the hassle when we were done. I learned later on that Carrie was always jealous of my family, money that I earned through my hard work, and that I always got the attention of boys. See? It built resentment over time.
The field will always be right.
I revel in it.
You might feel like being the person that foots the bill is you being generous, but in the end, it only builds resentment. Because it's like every time they get something nice, they associate that with you. So they expect you to pay for things, but they also hate you for paying for things. She also told someone a few years ago she only kept me around for the money. Her exact words were,
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
that's disgusting. She claimed my family money should be shared. Absolutely not. No. Shared with someone who hates you? No. If you do well in life or you have privilege in life, I'm always of the opinion that you should share it with people you love. But be mindful, if you share too much, people start to take advantage. It's my parents' money, not mine. I have zero rights to it. And the money we have, me and my husband have earned. I was deeply hurt by this, but also very mad. I was done.
Finito. Done.
I literally went through every bank statement and log from when we met. Every penny she borrowed, be it for clothes, meals out, bills for things for her kids, etc. I logged it. If I gifted money, I didn't include this. Okay, good. A gift is a gift.
Avocado.
But if she said that she wanted to borrow money, that's different. I then went to my cousin, who's a solicitor, and I sued her for all the funds she owed me. In total, over the years, she borrowed 15,000 pounds. So it wasn't a small amount. I also had text messages and emails promising to pay me back and agreeing to payment plans that were not kept. Needless to say, she was mad. Like livid. Eventually the judge ruled and said even if it was a text or email, it was an agreement that she had to pay it back. She paid me 10 pounds a week. She's attempted to go bankrupt a few times, but it had been refused. Some people agree with what I did, others think I took it too far. I think that we should all know when you lend money to people, there's a very high chance that you're never gonna receive it back, especially if it's something where they keep coming to you for money. But if you are lending money to a friend or giving money to a friend, I think the basic expectation is that they treat you with kindness because you helped them. If they stop treating you like a friend, I'm sorry, but this is petty. Like, you suing her is petty.
She deserves it.
That's a big check. Like, that is a large amount of money. Would she be able to pay it? Probably not. But she needs to learn that you can't use people and there are consequences for it. So am I the a-hole for suing my former friend? I mean, it's petty, don't get me wrong. Not a lot of people would go to that extent. If you have the money to do it and you're willing to put up with the time, then whatever. She needs to learn. And she treated you terribly. I do have to say that I understand you're a doormat. A lot of people listening and watching, we've been doormats. But after a certain point, it doesn't have to get to this point where you have to sue people. You have to stick up for yourself. And like, when you have that little voice in your head kind of telling you like, I've already helped this person a lot and they're not treating me well, the minute that you get a whiff of like them not treating you well or excluding you or anything,
Run.
I'm not trying to victim blame here, but at the same time, you have to like have enough of a backbone to know that like you need to cut people off at a certain point. So there's an update / a little bit of an edit, more context. I come from a big family where my dad, let's say, wasn't the greatest toward women. He was old school. He thought women belonged in the kitchen, have no reason to moan, etc. So I spent my life being beaten down. 2, I relocated when I was 16 to an area where I knew no one but my family. So I got in a group of friends and then Carrie joined later. I suppose I just didn't want to be alone anymore. I can understand that. It's difficult to be in a position where you want friendship so badly that you're willing to go over and above, and you think that by being generous in this way that that's how you'll have friends, but it's not a true friendship. The friendship did more or less end after she insulted my children. She eventually apologized and we talked, but things never went back to how they were. I'm not so much a people pleaser, but I'm more of a I don't want the drama hassle, or I'm just overall BS in my life. I avoid conflict and issues due to always having
Warring
parents growing up. I understand this a lot and I understand not wanting to avoid conflict, but life is conflict. Life is about conflict and it's not drama, or I don't want drama in my life. I feel like letting things fester just makes it worse. You have to get better at handling conflict. It doesn't have to be conflict also. You can't let it get to the point where people are like financially abusing you because you don't like conflict. I live around 9 hours from her. I haven't seen her in years. I suppose I just felt bad for suing her as I don't need the money, and if I'm being honest, I don't care if she suffers. I don't think 2 innocent children should suffer because she's a Muppet. I do get what you mean. You did take it to the point of like, this is gonna take years to deal with. At the same time, consequences of your actions. Not the a-hole. Carrie needs to pay you back every penny she borrowed. Glad you're suing her.
Money, please! My money.
She deserves the lawsuit. Her audacity is astounding. The entitlement and audacity of Carrie is actually crazy. And I definitely can relate to being in a position where people ask so often that like you feel kind of backed into a corner. I'm sure you didn't want to pay for all those things all those years. The friendship should have ended when she referred to your children as I'm amazed at how much you put up with from her. I also agree with this. I understand that this isn't a black and white situation. You were conditioned to kind of be a doormat, but at the same time, like, it's a pretty hurtful thing to say about you and your children. The money should have ended right there. If she wanted to apologize for what she said and you can continue the friendship, try to at least, I would have never given her another dollar. So are you the a-hole for suing your best friend and cutting off all contact? No, she was a bully. Stop feeling bad for your bully. Subscribe!